And yeah, the big one I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try. So why does God allow demon to exist? Well, I think it was like an unfair bet that demon made, and God like wouldn't even think that we would be like that. He would consider like, it was like a little challenge for us. It was like a little challenge for us that God accepted, saying, "Yeah, this is true. If they can really be like this, then they belong to you." And when you belong to the demon, you belong to the demon when you are darkened. There are actually dark forces, and that's how it happens completely unnoticeably, as I mentioned. Both God and the demon both are invisible there, so you're fighting an invisible enemy, demon, and you never know, kind of. You have to bring your self-awareness to such that you can understand when you are in danger. And it is danger. Whoever thinks that it's not a danger is has a serious disillusionment about what goes on with this, and it can be completely through society's rules. Like, we have rules, which are not holy. We don't have holy rules. So by obeying rules exclusively, you're not fulfilling any kind of God's destiny. And by even fulfilling the obvious, to marry, to have kids, take care of whatever. It's all good, but it's not the whole thing. So like, you're becoming exclusive. You undermine somebody else for yourself, really, for those who matter to you. Do they matter? Do they matter more than any other people? Why? Because they can help you later or something. Maybe you as parents, like, perhaps need to depend on somebody later on, whatever. Like, there's like so many reasons, and children have to be made only by pure love, and this does not happen, and that's why, like, and this need to reproduce is like almost animalistic. It's like, if you think about how many people like sleep with each other when they're drunk, it's how many children, like, perhaps doesn't matter, but I mean, people get into situations that they kind of want to, and not those ones that are really, or that is really a necessity for them to be in. As human beings, this is not like how human beings work. We know animals, like, they have the hour of mating, and this is like, okay, let's get drunk and have it, it's like the hour of mating. So it's sort of, it undermines the purpose of love, really. We are under influence. We're under sexual influence. Like, drinking is like, oh man, I didn't want to get into this one. So sorry. What was I talking about? Yeah, love. And no, the demon. And yeah, I mean, it's all pretty clear, actually. I think I've moved from the topic because I've resolved it instantly. So yeah. There is something that takes care of us here. It really does. When it seems almost unbearable, and that's yeah. that's when actually he showed up. When I was close to dying, I thought I was going to like die. I crossed over to a different lane too fast. I was driving a rental because my car was being repaired, and I didn't know this car, and I was driving fast to work because I always do, and I was always running late riding, and I almost like the car shook, and then it shook again, and I was like, I thought I was gonna die, and then I started thinking, well, what the hell am I doing here? Blah blah blah. Whatever, you know. am I like wasting time? And then I was almost starting to go crazy, and then that the power that is he showed up. So to kind of, I don't know, I forgot about that whole story. Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's like in the particles. It's almost like in the particles. I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware that what it was, but it was eternal. I understood that it was. I thought about it all the time. I understood pretty quickly that it's going to like remain with me forever. I was never going to forget that moment, and all other moments with it that are connected make the story almost completely known to me. Like it's this energy that we can obtain, and with which we can perform. Yeah, uh, whether it be like Jesus, like as in, you know, almost what like if he was healing the. Oh yeah, that's probably another question. Was he really a healer? As in like medically, were these, or just from the demons? Which even if he was, if he was relieving people from demons, he already has a godly quality. To instantly relieve a demon, I think only God can, which he proved when I was in Jerusalem and when I was feeling what was supposed to be Jesus' energy, and it was very particular that it was made up of the same substance, and it was relieving me. But I guess you have to relieve your, like you have to understand that we live in sin, and I think this is the process that I have a problem with. Throughout our whole life, we're constantly like relief. We have to relieve the demon because it is kind of within us. It's within our surrounding. It's constantly present, and we can always do more. And we're never quite clear here to say that we are like angels or like perfect beings. That's why Jesus also was like, that's also from him you can take that, said like he didn't want to die. Obviously he wanted to do more good. He felt that he was needed down here, so the killing of him is for that reason much more of a tragedy, is that he didn't live like a full life, so that more about him could have been written, or you know, that it could be, but more of which we need to be certain of. But he did. I mean, heals. God heals, and it's true. He does have his energy. I mean, but God healed me, in a sense. Yeah, he can heal certain even physical, barriers. Perhaps a lot of it comes from this actually the spirit, and not so much comes from, you know. Maybe, some of it is DNA. We know that's for sure. We're born with certain, you know, with certain predispositions, physical predispositions, and some even, well, I mean, I don't know, but perhaps even yes. Like I think so. Yeah, like increased sexual drive, even drinking, like things like you know, having, it's like a behavioral. it is a behavioral kind of a. It's not physical. So yeah. I mean, yeah. Uh, I mean, by drinking, I don't mean I drink. I don't drink at all. I just thought that, like, when I do have two drinks, like, my father also used to be, like, could be, he could get drunk from, like, two shots, or, like, I get a buzz after, like, a beer and a half. I can't even drink more than two beers. I'm drunk. I mean, yeah, I'm aware, but it doesn't matter. This is not, why am I talking about this? I'm sorry. So, yeah. Um, in that aspect, some of it is I guess a holy secret in a sense that it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, you know. This is not important. It's important that you understand God's idea. It's not important whether he really did, let's say, heal the lepers. He gives new life. This is true, and I have to base that on this girl that I saw in this other place. And then after that, I was like even elevated. I flew through space. I mean, if I didn't get the full picture, I don't know who did. I mean, a full picture meaning like everything that I cared to know. So yeah, I don't even know. Like I should. But yeah, this is the one, I guess, that I've been having a lot of problem with. So, like, how can he condemn us to the demon forever? And I'm coming back to this all the time. And the fact is that we have an obligation. I mean, I guess it's simple. Now, like, I'm trying to just kind of accept it. I was really shocked by the idea, that we can end, like, some of us end up in like hell, end up in a place of pain, which I've witnessed and felt, and so for this to be, you really have to be completely ignorant of the, and like you have like a whole life to like contemplate on this, like not to be cruel to others, pretty much, to anything else, living that feels pain, and this we did not comprehend. So like even veganism is like an attempt to improve your well-being. People fast. I mean, if we lived like in a happy place, we wouldn't be concerned so much with food. Food, like in heaven. I just said this the other day. Like I think all fast in heaven. I don't think anybody has time to eat there. I think they just don't. They're just too happy. Perhaps when I was a kid, I could play like all day. I didn't have to even come in to eat. I mean, I had to. I was, forced, but I didn't have any need for food. That I'm like when you have so much fun. Anyways, so it's like all in. It's all in our head, really. And what do we think is important? And it's kind of like everything, really. When you think about the other side, it's like how could you, consider that, and how could you consider that for like the entirety of your life? It's like you should be able to make that decision like instantly, and yet you're given like the whole lifetime to. So yeah, that's I guess what it meant by fair chance. I don't know. Like, do we get reincarnated? People who do, yeah. People, some do. Obviously, the ones who like die young, they probably do. And I have to cut this up because I won't be able to place it. So, stopping.